Today is March 25th, 3 days before we leave for Seattle to go stay in a hotel for spring break. Very excited. We are flying out on Wednesday, March 29th, to Charleston, South Carolina. Which is kind of along the coast of, it's along the coast of South Carolina. It's really beautiful. We're going there just to see family and stuff. Very excited. I love to fly. And here's this video. Northwest Deli. Some kind of trail mix. Some nice slices. This goes with the salami. That's some Gouda cheese. All the broken. And of course, potato chips. Going to this plantation that's been a historic site, South Carolina, for like slaves, and so it's very historic. It's one of the first in actually Charleston was the first place where the United States, part of it, decided to secede into the South, into Soviet Union. So yeah.
You look down at high tide, you can see the creek down here, Wahoo Creek that sits there. And what I told people is that, have you guys, some of you have been inside, right? Yes. So when you walk on those floors, those are 1850s heart pine floors. And those walls, right? Lots of those lots of the original plaster is still there. So those are 1850s plaster walls.
Is that house built in is that a McLeod house, or is that a house that he bought?
Yeah, so when he arrives here, that house is not here. He gets here in 1851, and the Parkers who were here before him, they are going to build, they had a farmhouse here already. But when the McLeods arrived, they're going to build a new home. So by the mid-1850s, this house is constructed. And that begs the question, why does the house not look like, if you know anything about architecture, why does the house not look like an 1850s house? Those two-story Greek columns are not antebellum architecture that would have been common for a planter of his social class to build. And that's because that house did not quite used to look like that. While the floors are original and the walls are original, we've got a few glass windows that are still original, most of what you see there is really not what you would have seen in the 1850s. This is what you would have seen. This is the back door. Now, it's where the front door now is. The house has been reoriented. It's been flipped around. So the front door you see used to be this back door. So something has changed, right? This is, and you know, this is not quite as grand either. Yeah, it's, you know, it's still there. We still have two front doors. So when people say which door is open, I say both the old front door and the new front door. We'll stand at the kind of crossroads in front of the big house there, and we'll talk about why that architectural change happened. And this is a nice pond here. Maybe just step over. Noah. Our first little spot. There's been some changes made to this house. Again, the original house is still there. This new facade has just been added. So how did that happen? When did that happen? There are 3 generations of McLeods here from 1851 to 1990. They are all named William. It's really fun to keep track of who I'm talking about. So that original William arrives here in 1851. But to get to this architecture story, we have to go to the 2nd generation of McLeods. William II is here. His wife Hallie is here. And it is 1917. They are successfully operating their Sea Island cotton plantation until boll weevil hits. Boll weevil is a little bug that comes into the south and devastates the cotton crop. 1917 turns out not to be such a good year. 1918 and 1919 are worse, and by 1920, Sea Island cotton is gone. It will never be commercially grown here again. So what does this have to do with architecture? Well, what does the Sea Island cotton planter do when he has no crops? He looks at his 1,700 acres and he says, I think it's about time to sell some of that land. And so that's what they do. We all came in on Country Club Road today, right? That gives you a very good idea of who he sold some of that land to. So a big old country club goes in down the road, big old country club houses going with it, new neighbors file into those country club homes, and for the first time in the history of this property, there is a road behind his house that's never been there before. And that back door is not particularly impressive. But there's another thing going on in the United States too. Tourism is picking up, and Charleston's downtown elites are talking about kind of redoing these old historic homes and bringing tourists in to see these historic homes. And the McLeods think, you know, I think we can hop on that train. They make up a little flyer to bring and advertise people visiting their plantation home. Well, if you are a tourist and you're going to come all the way to Charleston and then all the way over to James Island to stay at a plantation home, what do you want your plantation house to look like? Gone with the wind, right? So that is what they build, right? The romantic South, Hollywood helped invent that, novelists helped invent that. This is not the reality, though, of what most Sea Island plantations look like. most Sea Island plantation homes look like that farmhouse that's on the other side. So if we go back to reality, back to the 1850s with the McLeod's arrival here, this field right here is a field we'll see up there. That little dot there is the house. So the land really goes in just about every direction other than that creek.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right, so welcome to the cotton gin house. Anybody know what gin is short for? It does not have to do with happy hour. Sorry. A cotton gin is a cotton engine. Right, so you guys saw that big piece of equipment in the Welcome Center right there in the middle. You guys recognize the name Eli Whitney, right? This is the inventor of the cotton gin. Well, Eli Whitney's cotton gin was tearing apart Sea Island cotton, so they couldn't use it. They had to use a different gin. So that gin in there is a Sea Island cotton gin. And why is Sea Island cotton? Why does McLeod come to a Sea Island cotton plantation when he was overseeing a rice plantation? What do lots of things come down to?
Money.
Money. Yeah. So the price of rice has gone down globally. Lots of people have figured out how to grow it, and the price of Sea Island cotton is high. Sea Island cotton will fetch McLeod 4 to 10 times the value of cotton they're growing in the upstate here in South Carolina. This is an incredibly lucrative business he's getting into because it's an incredibly valuable type of cotton. What makes it so valuable? Well, and this isn't Sea Island cotton, that's kind of gone, but on this, if I start picking off these fibers, you'll see them float away. On every kind of cotton, there's a couple different major kinds, all of these fibers have a standard length depending on which kind of cotton it is. On some of the cheaper cotton, you'll get about 3/4 inch fiber, a little short fiber. On some nicer cotton, like Egyptian cotton or Pima cotton, you'll get a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch, 1 1/4 inch or 1 1/2 inch fiber. And then there is Sea Island cotton, and on Sea Island cotton, these fibers would have been up to 2 inches. So all of a sudden you have a extra long fiber that is extra soft as well. That's why that other gin was tearing it apart. So you have a really delicate fiber. So you'll notice this also comes in with a little bit of debris. There's also some seeds in here, right? That's what the gin does, it gets those seeds out. And then in August, when you pick Sea Island cotton, anybody been here in August? Yeah. For those of you who have been here, I'm sorry. And for those of you who have not been here, good, you came at the right time of year. So you have humidity that will come into this Sea Island cotton, and that has to be whipped out of the cotton as well before it can be sent off. So I'll pass this around. If you get a seed out, you get an imaginary gold star. And then you understand why the gin was invented, because it's so labor intensive to get those seeds out. So we will pretend, unfortunately, it is not late August. It is time to pick that. You guys are trying to get an imaginary gold star. So 8 to 12 feet tall. It's way up here, way over the heads of the growers. And they're going to pick all this cotton and bring it in.
Post Tavern. What is that?
Eli, pass some lights this way.
We're in a place called Kiowa in South Carolina. It's pretty beachy here. It's kind of like a village. Very cool.
It's like, you know how they have
No.
Did it come? Say it again. What?
Yeah.
Say it louder.
The exact same thing.
Say it louder.
They were serving the
No, say it louder.
Yeah.
It's an alligator. We just finished renting bikes. We returned them. We are really tired. We're going to get ice cream. It's about $4.50. Like, we're not exactly used to it. It's more like $1.50 our time. So see how the ice cream tastes. Pretty good. Gotta say strawberry. Strawberry, it's really good. They think this tree has been here for 1,500 years. 9,000 years. That's a long time. So this is 2017. I wish I lived here. This is South Carolina. Saturday. We got here Wednesday afternoon, probably about 4. So beautiful. This is just a camera digital view. I wish you guys could see the whole thing. Is this a hotel? What?
Am I right? Say what?
Taking a picture of it.
Just all the microphone. So now I don't have any money to put into it. You should put a little bit of this on.
Fish and chips. It's like a downtown Disney, kind of, but it's not in anywhere near Disneyland or World or anything. Free helicopter rides, well, $20. That's not free. It's a Hard Rock Cafe. Went to one last year in Las Vegas. Oh my gosh, it's a Johnny Rockets. I'm super hungry. Sugar. I'm laughing so hard at this thing right now.
And the first one's gonna be a Mama's meatloaf, and that comes with 2 sides, and that's $12. The other one's gonna be a stuffed chicken with Gouda, spinach, red peppers, garlic, and thyme, and sauce. 16, 2 sides. The other one's gonna be a fresh grouper, seared, placed on ramps, which is like onions, with balsamic, roasted red peppers, and that was 24.
Oh, like onion rings that way.
Huh?
It's a really nice southern dinner. It's lightning. This is the battery. Often where they protected Charleston from, the opposing side of the war, often during the Civil War. Here's the lake that they defended from. And there's a car that's going crazy. Cannon after cannon after cannon, they protected the park and the city. Not just the park, mainly the city. So beautiful. That statue says to the Confederate, and looks like it was very important. There's a bunch of helicopters, everything. I remember these few days and this week here on the East Coast in South Carolina. I'm walking along East Battery. To the right, if you're on the street. The street's to the left, but if you're facing right or left, then that's South Battery if you're on the street. Never seen very many things like this. House, which was considered like a normal house then. It's just beautiful. Oh my gosh. Horses everywhere along their horse dung, laying along the ground. Everything from palm trees all the way to the beautiful walk. Not exactly a boardwalk because it's not the ocean, but it looks very much like one as you would see in California. Very beautiful. All of those houses. We're at Fort Multier. Some war fort from like the Civil War, probably the 1800s. When we were driving in, there was and the American flag had 24 stars on.
How many stars on the American flag?
We got 13 colonies, so 13 minus 50. 13 minus 50, goddamn, 47.
Above the fort. And it looks to me that this is pretty, it's real. I read this first semester. Charleston, South Carolina. South Carolina. Charleston. South Carolina. South Carolina. To South Carolina. To Charleston. South Carolina.